I know it is late in the process, and I know that this is something of a Hail Mary pass.
But is it too late to save a local church that's been around for over a century? Breaking news after a serious crash that put 2 people in the hospital. And it's been 5 years since baby Elena was killed. We'll take a look back at this high-profile case that stunned a community.
This is 13 ABC Action News with Bill Horman.
Hold the wrecking ball. Can city leaders buy some time before St. Anthony's Catholic Church gets torn down? The building has been vacant for 12 years, but the mayor and some others think this church is worth saving. Alexis Means starts us off tonight with new efforts to stop the demolition of that church. Alexis?
Well, Bill, the street signs are up, the crane is up, and the building is expected to be demolished on Monday. City leaders have teamed up with Advocates for Basic Legal Equality, also known as ABLE, and requested that the city of Toledo freeze the demolition permits. Those documents were handed to the mayor today.
Here's what we're asking from the bishop, to listen to us.
City leaders say they can't get a meeting with Toledo Bishop Daniel E. Thomas. Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur, city council members, Toledo's current and former mayors are calling on the Catholic Diocese to meet with them before tearing down this historic church. St. Anthony's Church has stood vacant on Nebraska and Junction Avenues for more than a decade. It's scheduled to be demolished on Monday. A spokesperson for the church says the worship center is falling apart and there are safety concerns. City leaders are saying not so fast. They believe the structure can play a role in revitalizing the urban area and Toledo. Several city leaders claim they have placed calls to the diocese, but Catholic leaders won't return their phone calls. Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur says they're not giving up.
I, for one, would say to the Bishop of Toledo, with all respect, Bishop, I'm waiting to meet with you. I'm waiting to bring the citizens of this community to you, to work with you. This is what I offered to you in our first conversation. I will personally pay for the cost of moving these cranes and dump trucks or whatever else you ordered in here back to where they came from in Western Ohio.
The Catholic Diocese released this statement. We respect the feelings of those who would like to see the building remain, but believe strongly that demolition remains the most prudent option and are hopeful of the opportunities for the community that can be realized through the donation of the land to the Padua Center. And like I mentioned, the mayor has those documents in his hand. He will review those documents, and hopefully by Monday we should know something. Back to you, Bill.
All right, Alexis Means, thank you. We're following breaking news as well. A 3-car crash injured 2 people on Plainview Drive near North McCord Road in Sylvania Township. Troopers say a woman was driving fast, crashed into a parked car and a pickup truck. A man and a woman were trapped in that truck. They had to be cut out. They're in the hospital tonight, but we're told they will survive. No decision yet on whether to file charges against the speeding driver. All right, weather now. Cool and cloudy today. So what happened to all that heat, Ben?
Yeah, the heat disappeared as expected. A big cool down here for the weekend. We actually made it to 73, waiting for the graphic to catch up with the times here, but a little below normal. The average high 77. Sunshine came out this afternoon. Ended up being a beautiful day. Viper has the next round of rain well out to the west, but won't be here until 6 a.m. Beautiful day at the empty ballpark. A lot of our high school teams, though, down in Columbus competing for state titles. Clear skies by 8, cooling down into the upper 50s. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll let you know if the rain tomorrow will derail those festivals and all going on your Sunday, Bill.
All right, thanks, Ben. In our crime and safety alert tonight, Toledo police are looking for 13-year-old Jamore Smith. Now, police say he ran away April 30th from a babysitter. He has not been seen since. Jamore was wearing a camo hoodie, black jogging pants, and black Jordan shoes. If you see him, call the Crime Stoppers hotline. And Holland police looking for this woman. They say she stole a wallet from an 86-year-old woman by distracting her at a Walmart store. The thief then used the woman's card to buy $2,600 worth of goods at Target. Police say the suspect had a male accomplice. Call Holland Police if you can help track them down. Another vacant home burned in Toledo overnight. Show you where it happened. North Detroit, where firefighters say they faced a few challenges, including the heat and some new recruits who were on the scene.
Well, I got to make sure that the crews are actually hydrated and that we rotate crews evenly so that nobody actually does all the work.
Well, as you can tell from our video, the house was badly damaged by that fire. Nobody was hurt. Firefighters do believe the cause is suspicious. Investigators were called to the scene to find out what's going on here. And this is 34-year-old David Johnson. Police say he is under arrest after he tried to rob the 7-Eleven store on Upton. Police say Johnson threatened the clerk while trying to leave with some stolen items. Johnson was also found carrying cocaine. He faces a judge Monday. Today marks 5 years since baby Elena Steinfurth's disappearance and death. Baby Elena was reported missing, and police in the community searched for months. Her remains were found, and her mother Angela and Angela's then boyfriend were found guilty of murder in this case. Both were sentenced to life behind bars. In our consumer alert, beware of a phone scam targeting seniors in Lenawee County. The scammer is claiming to be from the Department of Aging and that there's a large sum of money that's held in an account with your name on it. The caller then asks you for an upfront fee to cover the insurance on the check before they mail the money to you. The Department of Aging says this is a scam, and they say, if you get it, hang up the phone. Happening tonight, Guns to Hammers is a nonprofit group that helps veterans renovate their homes. The group is teaming up with bars all across the country to spread awareness and raise money for their cause.
These microbreweries are very much in touch with the community, and what these microbreweries are doing, many of them are veteran-owned microbreweries. They're brewing their own version of a Guns to Hammers Veterans Ale. They're selling it for a couple bucks more per pint and then donating the proceeds, the extra proceeds to our foundation. So we're looking, if we have a few hundred of these that are doing it every day, selling several thousand pints around the country, that's some serious money we can help a lot of vets with.
That fundraising event's happening all night long at the Casual Pint on Executive Parkway, or you can just donate to Guns to Hammers on their Facebook page or on gunstohammers.com. New at 6, there's good news for Cedar Point roller coaster fans. Steel Vengeance is rolling along the tracks as normal. Last month on Cedar Point's opening day, Steel Vengeance had to be shut down after one of the trains bumped into another train. And for the last month, that ride's been operating with just one train. But now some adjustments have been made, and another train has been added back to the ride. You can have fun again. Still ahead, it's Toledo's oldest neighborhood, and today it's celebrated. And we'll tell you how a walk in the park helps dogs in need. Well, that's the Old West End Festival showing off the neighborhood this weekend. This is video of the King Wamba Parade from this morning. Lots of music and a lot of people celebrating Toledo's oldest neighborhood.
You can come out and come to the house tours, and the house tours are the only thing that costs money. Everything else is free, so you can come do arts and crafts with the kids. You can shop for arts and crafts at the art fair. You can go yard sailing, and there's food trucks and a beer garden, so all kinds of fun things to do throughout the weekend. It's a great way to kick off the summer.
Yes, and it does continue tomorrow. The Old West End Festival will run until 6 o'clock tomorrow night. People had fun at Side-Cut Metro Park and help animals in need at the same time today. This is the Bark in the Park fundraiser. It was different because this was the first time the Toledo Area Humane Society held a 5K walk and run in addition to its usual activities.
All the money that we raise goes towards helping our animals, spaying, neutering, getting them adopted, any extra surgeries they do, and we've already raised $50,000 this year, which is an all-time goal.
That is great. Bark in the Park hopes to raise at least $75,000 for the Humane Society this year. A grand reopening today for Cleland's Outdoor World. The Clelands in Swanton now under new ownership, and the new owners have given the place a facelift.
We've freshened up the inventory. The inventory had gotten kind of stagnant, so we tried to widen that, offer more things. We brought in a number of different bow lines for our archery department. We've expanded on the number of firearms we carry. Our class list is going to grow. We're going to have more instruction. We want to get youth more involved with the archery side and the firearm side. So we're just trying to a little bit at a time.
Cleland's Outdoor World is on Airport Highway in Swanton. Still to come, more delays, more headaches in Port Clinton. We'll tell you when we can expect the lift bridge closure to end.
And that comes as we enter the summer season. People heading out to the ballpark or maybe out to the ferries. We'll let you know about rain tomorrow and if that'll impact your plans. Coming up in a couple minutes.
Now, 13 ABC First Warning Weather with meteorologist Ben Cathy.
Well, did you enjoy the cooler weather we had today that we've been predicting for quite a while? It's going to continue for the next several days as the average high is basically where we'll be the next few days. Record highs earlier this week, especially on Memorial Day, but tomorrow topping out kind of what we had today, about 73, 74, similar story Monday into Tuesday. A little choppy as expected this morning on Lake Erie, though no complaints, right? We had some cloud cover, but no rain out there. West winds tomorrow, though, more conducive for flatter waters in the northeast winds, 12 to 19 knots, 68-degree water temperatures, and yes, there is a little rain. We'll talk about that quick moving line in just a couple of minutes, but I just want you to know before we talk about it that, well, it's not an all-day thing by any means. Okay, allergy index, you would have thought that the rain the past couple of days, especially the heavy stuff in Toledo, would knock out the grass pollens. That has not been the case. Molds very high, at least trees getting a little better, though those cottonwoods are everywhere. Those little spores, I think that's what they are. 64 in Sandusky, 77 in Lima, 67, 10 degrees cooler right now in Fremont. So there's your influence of a lake breeze. The next batch of storms nowhere in the Buckeye State. You got to go well out to the west. Even if this line of storms up in central Wisconsin, more out towards Minnesota. Okay, so we are all good on the rain until 6 to 7 in the morning. We start the clock then a few hours from now at 12:30. Clock in the upper left-hand corner. This is 12:30 after midnight Sunday morning with rain and a couple of thunderstorms embedded in that line. 6 to 7 o'clock along the Indiana border. Rain won't reach Toledo until closer to 10. Predictor wants to install a couple of these little red dots here. And you see in the legend that it's on the higher end of rain. However, the other maps that we look at behind the scenes, the GFS, the Euro, the NAM, the Canadian, all these things you hear about occasionally have a little lighter stuff under ½ an inch. But they all agree on the timing, basically 10 to noon up and down I-75. And then out of here by noon. Rain along the coast for those boaters about 1 to 3. So just remember those times before and after the rain. Things are looking pretty good. And then again, under about ½ an inch for most of us. By Monday, the sun peaks out by the afternoon, lasts for much of the morning on Tuesday, but rain is back in time for Tuesday afternoon, though not as likely as we have tomorrow. Clouds returning tonight. Later on, 58 is the low. 74 tomorrow. And yes, Bill was showing you the King Wamba parade from the Old West. And I'll be there tomorrow morning announcing the winner of the foot race. And looking pretty good both before and after the rain. 74 by 4 p.m. in the OWE. Beautiful neighborhood if you haven't had a chance to check it out. 40% chance of afternoon showers on Tuesday. Again, not as likely as they are tomorrow, and tomorrow not a washout by any means, Bill. 78 on Thursday. Pretty comfortable week all in all. Good time to catch up on some yard work.
Yeah, it's sort of like a week of repeats. If you like Monday, you'll like Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday.
And for me, it beats 98 and baking like we did Monday.
Well, maybe we're done with that. Wouldn't that be nice?
I don't know.
Ben, thanks. Yeah, probably not. Weather and traffic back to back. Here's Heather Pauloff with your Contrada Law Time Saver traffic report.
Well, drivers in Port Clinton have been dealing with the closure on the Lift Bridge right next to the Jet Express here since October of last year. ODOT says you can continue to see that bridge closed through the end of this month. In fact, specifically, ODOT says that by June 29th, we can expect that bridge to be back open. So that weekend, right before the 4th of July, they're hoping to get this back open for us here. Until then, drivers in Port Clinton can continue to use State Route 2 to get around that. I know that detour takes you miles out of your way and adds a lot of extra time to your drive. But again, ODOT says that by June 29th, they're hoping to get that Lift Bridge back open. That's a check. Your Contrada Law Time Saver Traffic.
AAA kicked off summer travel by having its staffers help people plan out their summer vacations.
It's not too late to plan your summer vacation. Basically, you want to kind of have in mind a budget, when you would like to go, and how long you can be off for. We've got anything from cruises to tours, a lot of AAA exclusive discounts with a lot of the car rentals, hotels, and attraction tickets across the United States.
Sign me up. Better use your vacation time. Believe it or not, last year, Ohioans left nearly 22 million unused vacation days on the table.
I can tell you, I just lost 2 hours, but it's not quite 22 million. All right, straight ahead, state baseball down in Columbus. Hicksville trying to win a championship in D4. Also the latest on Anthony Wayne's bid in Division 1. Plus, Ottawa Hills lacrosse trying to win a title down in Delaware.
Now, 13 ABC Action Sports with BCSN. Here's Joe Nugent.
Anthony Wayne chasing its first baseball state championship in school history. The game just ended and the Generals come up short 8-1 against Olentangy Liberty. In Division 4, Hicksville taking on Fort Laramie. Fourth inning, Ace is working on a 1-0 lead. Jonah Gippel's ground ball to shortstop becomes a big problem. A bad throw. Braden Langham scores to double the lead. The Aces tack on a couple more in the fourth to make it a 4-0 game. Gippel scores on the wild pitch. Looks pretty good, right? But the Redskins explode for 8 runs in the 5th inning, and that is how it ends. Fort Laramie, a winner, 8-4. Hicksville settles for silver.
Hey, state runner-up. A lot of teams would have loved to be in this position. We just came up short today, but, you know, hats off to Fort Laramie, man. They put the bat on the ball today.
We didn't really come through. I mean, I just felt like we were kind of all yelling at each other. It just wasn't how we were usually playing a game.
Division II lacrosse state title. Ottawa Hills looking for its first against a school out of Columbus, St. Francis de Sales. Nick Durfee finishes off a strong first quarter. Green Bears up 3-2. Then late in the half, they trail 8-3. Peter Boyce scores one of his 2. But the Sales not letting it get any tighter. They control the final 3 quarters, winning 13-5.
Battle of the ground balls, and we just couldn't come up with them. And they took advantage. A lot of transition goals. I thought our 6-on-6 defense did all right, but it was those transition goals that we gave up, and I just couldn't recover from that.
We're upset now, but when you reflect on the season as a whole, a 20-win season, even making it to the state finals, that's nothing that's ever been done for this team, so it's still it'll be a good feeling.
Just have to give it a few days. All right, that Game 1 loss for the Cavaliers still stings. George Hill called it the worst of his life.
It's one of the toughest losses I've had in my career as well, just because everything that kind of went on with the game and the way we played, and you know, obviously we all know what happened in the game, so it was a tough 24 hours. Not only for G Hill, but for myself, for our whole ball club, because you know, we put ourselves in a great position to be successful. But like I said, give yourself a day. If you need to take 2 days, okay. But today you should feel excited about the opportunity to be better and be great, and move forward.
I guess a silver lining for us would be, you know, the togetherness and, you know, just having one another's backs going into game 2. You know, we know what to expect from this team. We were locked into our game plan. We never let the game get out of hand, which, you know, it can happen.
From watching film today and just showing some guys where we can get better, all the guys are in a great spot right now, in a great position. So they all feel good. So we're ready to go for game 2.
Looking forward to it. Tomorrow night starts a little earlier as well. 8 o'clock. Will J.R. Smith have a big game, try to make up for the end of game 1? How about the rest of the crew? Boy, LeBron could use some more help. I don't think he's going to score 51 again. All right, another big event in Central Ohio, the Memorial Tournament. Tiger Woods makes a huge move. With this birdie at 15, he is tied for the lead, but 2 bogeys after that. He is, however, in contention headed to the final 18. All right, IndyCar up in Detroit at Belle Isle this weekend for 2 races. 1 today, 1 tomorrow. Lap 47, Ohio native Graham Rahal hits the curb, and that's all it takes. He's done. Scott Dixon wins it just a week after almost finishing the job at Indianapolis. Big day in in Columbus. Also, state track. We'll have highlights from Jesse Owens Memorial Stadium coming up tonight.
Congratulations to all the teams that made it to the finals.
Man,
great achievement.
It certainly is. And you think about the hundreds of teams that tried to make it. Whew.
Joe, thanks. We're going to tell you the story behind these special Mud Hens jerseys when we come back. This year's Hope for the Hungry food drive is officially underway. Now through June 22nd, you can donate non-perishable and canned food items for families in need. For more information on drop-off locations, just get connected to 13abc.com. And check this out. The Toledo Mud Hens have unveiled a special jersey that you will see in 2 weeks. These special 419 jerseys will commemorate the 1968 International League Championship Mud Hens team. It's all part of You Will Do Better in Toledo night. You'll see these jerseys in action at Fifth Third Field, June 16th. Sports at 11.
Hens on the road tonight at Lehigh Valley. We'll let you know if they can come through with the big W.
Okay.
And the weather looking pretty good for a night of baseball, but there is some rain out there tomorrow at 11. We'll let you know if it impacts all the happenings. Got the Old West End Festival, the boating forecast, all that taking shape for what is many the unofficial start of summer.
Yeah, it's the first weekend in June. Be sure to join us tonight at 11 for 13 minutes of nonstop news. Until then, enjoy Saturday night with your family, and we will see you later. Good night.
You have the power. Custom alerts for news, weather, sports, and school alerts. Download 13ABC's free news app now.